One of the best things that I think Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order eventually did was the release of the meditation training feature that released about 6 months after the game's launch. Now the main reason for this is that it added a lot of replayability to the game, and I really want to see that same thing in Star Wars Jedi Survivor. For those who aren't aware, Fallen Order's meditation training had 2 features, the combat challenges and the battle grid, and these can be unlocked after you've completed the main story. The combat challenges will throw you into waves of enemies based on the arena location that you're in, and then the battle grid allows you to create your own challenges with the selection of fighting every enemy in the game and more. This meant that you could essentially replay any boss fight to your heart's content without the need to start a new game and grind just to get to that spot once again. Not only has that made the game more replayable, it certainly helped me a lot as a creator to gather gameplay from, and you've been seeing them a lot in my latest videos. But my main question for this video really is, will we be able to do this in Jedi Survivor or not? As of me making this video in late January, we haven't heard any news or confirmation on this, but given the fact that it was in Fallen Order after launch, you'd surely think that they'd do something very similar in Jedi Survivor, hopefully at launch, but if not shortly after. Whilst I very much want to see the battle grid and challenges return, I would actually like to see other types of challenges. In Fallen Order it's all about combat, but a big part of these Jedi games is movement, so I think having some form of parkour challenges in Jedi Survivor that utilises lightsabers, blasters, the Force and general parkour abilities would be really fun to do. In terms of scoring, it could be done based on timings, and I think it would add a whole new dynamic to the game that we don't get to see in Fallen Order. Going back to the whole boss fight side of things, as much as I like the battle grid with its custom arenas for the planets and locations in the game, whilst I do very much want to see that return, I also think it would be great to actually replay the boss fights as they were in the story. So let's say you've completed the game and you head over to the meditation training section where there are 3 options: combat challenges, battle grid and boss fights. You go on the boss fights one and then there's a list of all of the boss fights that are in the game's story. You then select one and then it plays a cutscene that ultimately precedes it, you do the boss fight and then it plays the cutscene after the fight, and that's that. Something about that to me is just really appealing, because I think it puts you right back into the heart of the story, and it adds all that emotional weight back onto the player and really immerses them properly as Cal, which is something that I feel the battle grid will never be able to do. Now of course I mean no disrespect whatsoever to the battle grid, because it was a really great addition to Fallen Order, and I pray that it returns to Jedi Survivor. So to ultimately answer the question of will we be able to replay boss fights in Jedi Survivor, unfortunately we don't yet know the answer for that, but since we had the battle grid and combat challenges in Fallen Order, I have really high hopes for them to return in a bigger and better capacity in Jedi Survivor. Let me know what you think of this in the comments below though guys. That is it from me today, thank you all very much for watching, and may the Force be with you always.